Hey, welcome to a new video.
Abandoned hospitals are known for their lingering bad energy due to the many people who take their last breath there. In this video, we see someone enter an abandoned hospital, and as they approach one of the rooms, a bathroom door slowly slides open. According to the background story, this is one of the most haunted places in the world. The Korea Gonjiam Psychiatric Hospital is a real psychiatric hospital located in South Korea. It gained notoriety for its haunted reputation, and has been the subject of urban legends and media attention. Additionally, it was inspiration for a 2018 South Korean horror film. In this video, a man seems to capture the moment when a bathroom door slowly opens, possibly providing evidence of the existence of ghosts or paranormal activity.
Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And before we start, also like the video.
A supposed poltergeist was caught on security camera footage in the Jamaica Inn, a well-known haunted pub in Cornwall, England. Local reports suggest the ghost in question is Jack, a sailor who was said to have died more than a century ago on the nearby moorland. In the recently surfaced footage, a glass mysteriously tips over, sparking speculation about the presence of supernatural activity. The pub's manager acknowledges the Jamaica Inn's reputation for ghostly encounters and attributes these mischievous incidents to Jack. She tells the story of Jack's supposed murder on the moor. Another piece of surveillance footage reveals further unexplained events inside the bar, with a phone appearing to jump off the hook on its own. His tricks continue. Broken glasses, spilled pints, and generally scaring people. The local folklore surrounding Jack's ghost has persisted for generations, with stories of his wanderings through the inn and the surrounding moorland. In this video, a woman plagued by nightmares took the brave step of recording herself while sleeping to unravel the mysteries unfolding in her subconscious. However, the footage she captured turned out to be much more disturbing than she could have ever expected. Instead of finding answers to her nocturnal disturbances, the camera revealed an extraordinary phenomenon, where the woman was floating above her bed. People in the comments believe that an invisible force was holding her up or exerting some kind of telekinetic power on her. She floated for a brief moment before gently descending back onto the bed. Such events where people seem to be lifted out of their sleep bear similarities to phenomena often associated with poltergeists. Poltergeists are believed to have the ability to manipulate physical objects and exert force on their surroundings. The connection between poltergeists and levitation during sleep stems from the belief that these supernatural entities have a unique control over energy and matter. In the case of the woman with nightmares, it's possible that a poltergeist was drawn to her vulnerability during sleep and was able to exert its powers on her. In a quiet suburban neighborhood, a group of kids found themselves wrapped up in a mystery when they noticed some strange events happening outside their house. This moment would test their courage and bond like never before. It all started innocently enough when they suddenly saw strange sounds and creepy shadows moving outside in the dark. Curiosity got the better of them, and armed with smartphones, they decided to capture these bizarre incidents. Huddled close together, they pointed their cameras toward the dark abyss outside their windows, where they saw a figure lurking in the depths of the bushes. A chill ran down their spines as they realized they had encountered something beyond their wildest nightmares. Everyone ran away quickly, but one of them decided to grab a bat for protection. But by the time he returned, the creature had vanished without a trace. In a spine-chilling video that surfaced online with no identification source, a woman named Sarah was walking past her neighbor's empty garage. According to the story, the neighbor was on vacation, and no one was home. However, as Sarah walked by, she saw lights flickering on and off in the garage. And when she took a closer look, she saw a ghostly figure moving back and forth. This ghostly figure terrified Sarah. As Sarah captured it on camera, something moved with astonishing speed back and forth, and the movement seemed too fast for an ordinary person. Suddenly, it stopped and peeked outside, locking eyes with Sarah, sending chills down her spine. In an instant, the mysterious presence vanished from sight, leaving behind a multitude of unanswered questions. Without a verifiable source, it's unfortunately impossible to determine whether the true nature of this video is genuine. The speed of the entity's movements defies any rational explanation, further deepening the mystery behind its identity. What do you think it was? This TikTok story unfolds over multiple videos, with the account owner, Nick Simone68. In an extensive introduction, he shares with his viewers the discovery of a secret door in his parents' house. Initially, it looks like an ordinary attic door, but it revealed a surprising find. He discovered a bag filled with old hospital documents, as well as papers and receipts dating back to the 60s and 80s. These receipts are prescriptions for a range of mental illnesses. The name King Park Psychiatric Hospital is written on them. And by further investigating the patient labels found in the bag, Nick reveals that the hauntings in this house have intensified. His mother begins seeing people in the hallways, while his sister experiences strange occurrences. Objects inexplicably fall off shelves, and remarkably, the paranormal activity even seems to follow Nick to his workplace. In one particularly eerie moment, Nick manages to capture a mysterious shadowy figure on one of his doorways, although he insists he didn't notice the figure while filming. This series of peculiar events began with a jar of peanut butter lying on its side of the counter. Initially, it seemed like a playful prank, but soon things took a more unexplainable turn. Objects began to appear arranged in a strange manner, prompting the family to document everything with photos and videos, helping to capture evidence of the strange occurrences. The most disturbing aspect was that every night, all the lights in the house inexplicably went out, despite attempts to restore them with a simple flip of the switch. Seeking answers, the mother sought advice from someone who suggested a peace offering to the presence, who they believed to be a poltergeist. They placed a cat figurine on the mantle and told the poltergeist that they meant no harm. However, the stepfather vehemently opposed this idea of communicating with the entity, dismissing it as dealings with the devil. In a chilling climax, the house was nearly consumed by fire, leaving the interior in ruins and uninhabitable. A Russian man was tired of being stalked by a strange figure or creature and decided to film what happened next. According to the story, they had heard noises, and then it was silent for a while before he returned to the basement. When he returned, he filmed the creature as it began exploring the basement, searching through the clutter. At the height of the video, he encounters the creature hiding behind a remote section. The person who filmed the video doesn't just call it a creature. A chepshi are 12 inches tall humanoid beings or goblins that inhabit abandoned houses, barns, forests, and tall grass. While they are most common in sparsely populated villages, they can also be found near large cities. The presence of this creature in a house, as seen in this video, can be noticed by various signs. For example, subtle knocks on the roof, strange rustling, grinding noises, and other unusual auditory phenomena. Their squeaks resemble the creepy echoes of bats, and their eyes manifest as blinking lights in the dark. Although these creatures aren't inherently aggressive, they have the ability to emit terrifying shrieks in a supernatural voice. In this video, taken at the Carlisle Castle Hotel in Newton, Australia, we see a ghost moving past, or at least an outline of a strange figure. The hotel staff were aware of a series of unexplained events that had occurred within the establishment in the past. They described taps mysteriously turning on by themselves, leaving the staff perplexed and on edge. To make matters worse, bottles and glasses were inexplicably thrown to the floor on 2 separate occasions, both times caught on camera for everyone to see. The owner, Peter Bradbury, shared his own stories about strange events and acknowledged that they had indeed experienced odd things within the premises. Among these incidents were notably wine bottles falling off the shelf, and it seems that the unseen presence had a preference for expensive red wine. The unexplained and disturbing incidents at the Carlisle Castle Hotel have left many puzzled and searching for answers, and observers speculated about the falling bottles, suggesting that vibrations caused by footsteps could easily have knocked the first bottle off the edge, but the descent of the second bottle remains a mystery. What happens after a store like this closes? This store was already rumored to be haunted, but when the owners decided to install CCTV cameras to monitor the space, they were in for a shock. During the quiet hours of closing time, the camera captured a series of events, including office chairs mysteriously moving and items falling off the shelves. Everything was recorded from multiple angles and by several cameras. It was as if an invisible presence was playing with the store's belongings. But the weirdness didn't stop there. As the night progressed, a mannequin encased in a glass box suddenly sprang to life. Its lifeless eyes seemed to glisten with an eerie energy. Many viewers now embrace the terrifying idea that this store is indeed haunted, as the rumors had long suggested. While exploring an abandoned location, a YouTuber known as Vroom Vroom Donna found herself in what started as a casual adventure. However, he soon encountered one of the most frightening experiences of his life. Within the walls of an abandoned place, a terrifying event unfolded, as objects were thrown at him as if they came out of nowhere. He compared the sensation to that uncomfortable feeling you get when you're lying in bed, and as you turn, your eyes catch a fleeting glimpse of a shadow. Or when you think you hear faint noises, like a door creaking or the ceiling groaning. These subtle events give you goosebumps and a lingering feeling of unease. And this is exactly what he described about his encounter at the abandoned location. The unexplained objects being thrown at him defied any rational explanation, leaving him in a state of pure fear. A security guard had to take a second look when he saw this on his screen. A strange figure moving outside the building. But what is it? It's not an ordinary ghost or demon. It almost looks like it's hopping back and forth. According to some people, this is a pekong, a ghost that's part of Indonesian and Malay mythology. It's one of the most notorious spirits in these cultures, and it's said to be the soul of a deceased person doomed to wander the earth due to unfinished business. It's usually depicted as a human figure wrapped in a burial shroud, with small ropes binding the shroud to the body at the neck, arms, and legs. It's also known for its signature hopping movement, just like we see on the security camera. It's also believed to be able to travel distances ranging from 131 to 328 feet, and it's known to roll across the ground. In Indonesian and Malay folklore, the bokong is often associated with villages and is thought to wander at night, hopping around as if searching for something or someone. When you're young, you don't think much about dolls being scary, but as we get older, dolls become more and more terrifying. Some dolls are cute, but why would you want to bring that extra presence into your home? Especially if the doll looks as creepy as the one in this TikTok video. The owner noticed something was wrong with her doll, so she grabbed her phone to film the creepy event. At first glance, the doll is just scary, but suddenly its eyes change color, and it begins to make small movements and rock back and forth. To prove this further, the woman moves the doll herself, showing there's no strings attached. The doll moves entirely on its own, propelled by an unseen force or as if something inside it's causing it to move. In the quiet solitude of a bedroom, a scene unfolds that looks straight out of a movie, capturing the poltergeist activity while a woman peacefully sleeps. Everything is recorded by a security camera installed in the bedroom. As the night progresses, the door creaks open eerily, and the rocking chair begins swaying as if moved by invisible hands. But then, inexplicably, something happens. Items on the shelves suddenly fall to a chaotic force caused by a poltergeist, violently throwing the books from their positions. The room becomes a battleground of the supernatural as the poltergeist power grows. Even the painting that once hung above the bed is ripped from its place. As abruptly as it started, the poltergeist rampage reaches its peak and retreats from the room. Deep within the abandoned pachinko arcade in Nagano, Japan, a disturbing tale unfolds. While the origin of the following video remains elusive, it's believed to have been captured by security cameras within this deserted arcade. Legends surrounding this dilapidated place speak of the ghostly apparition of a young girl who is often seen in the empty halls. The eerie surveillance footage begins with a police officer responding to an alarm triggered by an unknown presence within the abandoned arcade. What happens next is enough to send chills down your spine. In the creepy footage, a figure resembling a young girl can be seen appearing close behind the investigating officer. Strangely, the officer seems unaware of the presence, neither seeing nor hearing the ghost entity. As the officer turns to leave, the girl suddenly takes a crouching position nearby, leaving viewers with a lasting sense of unease. The lack of a credible source leaves us without any definitive explanation, and unfortunately, the unexplained nature of this video remains a mystery. In this surreal video, a creepy goat moves around. Its hind legs supported its weight while its front legs dangle limply by its sides. Its movements betray a confusing sense of loss, as if its soul had been whisked away. Some believe the goat is being controlled by a supernatural force. Others speculate that this goat may have undergone specialized training, similar to the methods used in circuses. They suggest the purpose of this training is to herd chickens, much like how circus animals perform gracefully under their trainer's guidance. But goats aren't just any animals. The association between goats and the devil has deep roots in mythology, folklore, and religious symbolism. In various cultures and belief systems, goats are linked to satanic imagery and representations. In folklore and fairy tales, there are also stories depicting goats as creatures created by the devil himself. If your house is haunted, what's the worst thing a ghost can do if they can't physically touch ya? Probably this. As we can see in this video, a baby's lying inside of a crib when the dog suddenly notices something outside the nursery. This must be one of the scariest online videos about paranormal activity. In the video, we see a toddler who is peacefully sleeping being slowly pulled out of their sleep by their feet, and then floating out of the crib. Security footage around the house shows no one was home at the time. The baby, now on the ground with no way to get back into the bed, walks to the kitchen, and then back to the crib. Later that evening, the baby's parents come home. They check the nursery and find the baby crying. The question, however, is how did the baby get back into the crib? It seems that the family lives in a real haunted house, and if I were them, I would have moved out a long time ago. This man received coordinates to investigate a house, and the sender claimed that elderly people once inhabited the property. He shared stories of disturbing occurrences, mainly focused on the basement of the house. The previous residents allegedly endured a barrage of unexplained noises, disconnected conversations, and doors defying logic by opening on their own. Armed with a flashlight, the man began exploring the vacant property, placing cameras in the rooms to capture any potential activity. At this point, the atmosphere took a chilling turn. A piece of glass inexplicably slid off the counter, crashing to the floor with a thundering clatter. The room began shaking and trembling, while objects were hurled around by an unseen force. Strangely, the disturbance seemed confined to this specific area, as the rest of the house remained untouched, ruling out the possibility of an earthquake. Despite the increasing discomfort, the man decided to use a device in hopes of making contact with any wandering spirits within the house. To his unsettling surprise, he received a message urging him to reveal the secrets hidden in the basement. When he did, a blood-curdling scream pierced the air. Listen. Aware of the looming danger, he wisely retreated from the basement, unwilling to discover the source of the terrifying sound. In Peru, a live TV program captured footage of a heavy rainfall when something much more unsettling accidentally appeared on camera. The fact that this was captured on live TV makes it all the more scary. Amidst the rain-soaked scene, a humanoid creature appeared, sneaking behind the reporter as he delivered his report. One can't help but be amazed that the cameraman remained calm in the face of such a bewildering sight. The creepy silhouette of this creature seemed to crouch, engrossed in a mysterious task, while one hand held a pole or extension, as if searching for something. What makes this footage even more terrifying is that it's presented as unedited, unaltered, and live, without any filters. The presence of the creature defies rational explanation, leading some to speculate that it may be from another dimension. Some have even compared this creature to a ghost, emphasizing the inexplicable nature of its appearance. What do you think this humanoid creature was, or what was it doing? Let me know in the comments. Get ready to lose sleep over footage of an Aswang in an empty room, moving back and forth, giving everyone chills. But what exactly is an Aswang? In case you're not familiar with the terrifying legend, in the world of the Filipino folklore, the Aswang appears in a spine-chilling shape. The Aswang appears as a spine-chilling, shape-shifting entity, embodying the traits of vampires, ghouls, and witches. The Aswang's fearsome reputation dates back centuries, with Spanish colonists noting it as the most feared of the mythical creatures in the Philippines. Its appearance and characteristics vary across regions, making it a creature of diverse descriptions and interpretations. Some believe that making eye contact with this creature can reveal its presence, as one's reflection may appear upside down. Others claim that a special oil, which boils in the presence of an Aswang, can serve as a detection method. One reason for the fear associated with these creatures is their alleged ability to transfer their supernatural powers to others. It's believed that if the creature places its mouth close to someone else's, that person will eventually become one of them. If we're to believe these video images, someone captured a real Aswang on camera. But what happened afterward remains unclear. Let's hope the person behind the camera is alright. One day, a girl's brother had to watch his little sister all alone in a new house that the family had moved into earlier that week. At one point, the 5-year-old girl made a disturbing comment. The boy pulled out his phone and began filming his sister, who told him that her doll disappears when they play hide and seek. To see what happens to the doll, the boy decides to hide. This is when the unexpected twist occurs, as the family dog suddenly jumps out playfully. Although the rest of the night seemed uneventful at first, something later happened that deeply disturbed the boy. When he put his 5-year-old sister to bed, he suddenly noticed the peculiar behavior of the dog toward the doll. The dog fixated on the doll from a distance, but nothing else happened, and so he decided to go to bed. However, while resting in a nearby room, the boy was suddenly awakened by a faint noise coming from the living room, the same area where the doll was last seen. Reacting quickly, he began filming and aimed the camera at the doll. At first glance, the doll seemed to be in the same position as before, but upon closer inspection, the doll began making head movements and eye contact before toppling over. When you live long enough in a haunted house, you get used to it. But for the average viewer, this is one of the scariest things ever. This woman went to grab some orange juice, and that's when things started to go downhill. But apparently, this is an average day for this person. As soon as she puts the juice down, a water bottle inexplicably flies off the counter. Like any person would, she freaks out. Curiosity mixed with fear, she cautiously approaches the fallen bottle, only to see the door swing open with an unknown supernatural force. A chill runs down her spine as she ventures into the unknown, forced to investigate the source of this eerie phenomenon. Despite the disturbing encounter, she continues into the adjacent living room, where a few lounge chairs rock back and forth with an unsettling rhythm. As she retreats to her room, a lingering doubt remains. What was this? In Canterbury, Kent, UK, a pub owner found himself gripped with fear when his security footage revealed inexplicable phenomena. The terrifying recordings captured a series of eerie events, including furniture such as chairs, bar stools, doors, and even an umbrella moving around the pub. These spine-chilling scenes caught by the security cameras send shivers down the spines of viewers. While people sat in the pub, they witnessed glasses flying off shelves and lights mysteriously flickering on and off. The disturbing events have convinced both the staff and regulars that the pub is haunted. Reports from the pub staff include sightings of shadows passing through doors and lights suddenly flashing on with no apparent cause. To shed light on the paranormal activities plaguing the pub, the owner compiled this footage, covering a period of 2 months. The video serves as a chilling testimony to the unexplained events that can occur within the walls of a pub. Would you dare go to this pub? Let me know in the comments. In September 2023, a woman checked her trail camera in the woods because she had noticed a series of footprints, clearly different from her own. This is what the footage captured. Listen for yourself. According to the voice, you'll never catch them. Now, there are two possible scenarios. It could be a ghost or a demon taunting the woman, or it could be another person stalking her, which is equally terrifying since she's completely alone in the woods. Others have suggested that this is an EVP, which stands for electronic voice phenomenon, so it could also be a ghost from the past. In that case, it wouldn't cause her any harm. Which of these theories do you think is most likely what happened? Forests are some of the scariest places, and easy hunting grounds for either a ghost or a person with malicious intent. Some advised a woman to place a motion detector to see if it was a real person, but unfortunately, we don't know what happened after that. After a devastating house fire in South Africa, someone arrived with a camera to document the damage for insurance purposes. While taking photos and videos from different angles, something peculiar caught their attention. The video revealed a vague, translucent figure with a vaguely human shape, seemingly unaffected by the movements of the videographer. There were only two people present in the apartment, and neither noticed anything unusual at the time. However, upon reviewing the video, intriguing details emerged. At one point, a woman can be seen wearing a long dress, walking right to left, disappearing through the kitchen doorway. When they reviewed the footage, they were shocked. In the same video, a misty figure can also be seen moving across the counter. The person filming said they hadn't noticed anything unusual at the time. As the video progresses, the misty figure in the kitchen takes on a different quality, resembling ectoplasm more than a fully formed human entity. It's possible that the apparition didn't have the energy to manifest into a full human form. Night Watch Exploration is a small YouTube channel that explores abandoned buildings, and often encounters chilling experiences during their investigations. In a video published on their channel in July 2021, the group went to an undisclosed location, an abandoned military hangar. They made it clear they had no prior knowledge of any ghosts associated with the site. However, as they ventured inside, they quickly discovered the chilling truth. Inside the military hangar, the team's discomfort became palpable, and it's very easy to understand why. The atmosphere was oppressively silent, and the darkness enveloped everything, forcing the crew to rely on their flashlights for navigation. But for those closely watching the video, a strange sight unfolds. A mysterious figure begins following the team's movements. What could this be? As you might know, cats can be incredibly fast, but how can you make these friendly cats fly? If we're to believe this next video, a doorbell camera captured a moment where we see a running cat turn into a firefly that flies away. Unfortunately, there were no other people around who could witness what exactly happened. One moment you see a cat hanging around the porch late at night, and suddenly it turns into a firefly and flies away. Another cat present nearby also seemed confused. What did the doorbell camera capture? Was it a spirit of a cat, a shapeshifter, or something else? Let me know in the comments. The oak bed, with its rich history and intricate craftsmanship, has now found its safe haven in the VA Museum in London. It's believed to be made by the skilled carpenter Jonas Fosbrook for King Edward IV during the 15th century. However, as time passed, the king's desire for new beds led to the oak bed being discarded by garbage men outside the palace. It found refuge in various inns, where it became a fascinating novelty for locals to sleep in the grandeur of the old king's bed. Unfortunately, the allure of the bed was overshadowed by a ghostly curse that emerged in the 19th century. After it was moved from the White Hart Inn to another inn called Saracen's Head, the bed became associated with strange occurrences. It's said that the apparition of Frostbrook grew increasingly irritated by common folk daring to rest in his bed, leading to many people meeting an untimely end in their sleep. While the history of the bed and its supposed haunting continues to be subjects of debate, its notoriety grew to such an extent that it earned mentions in Shakespeare's works. On June 29, 2007, two people ventured into a chapel deep in the woods where supernatural entities were rumored to reside. Despite the creepy legends surrounding the place, they fearlessly entered a side door, unaware of the piano-playing ghost. As they explored the chapel, they came across mysterious inscriptions carved into the walls. The inscriptions resembled prayers or divine invocations, and the atmosphere in the chapel became noticeably colder, as if they were surrounded by an otherworldly presence. A distinct and chilling cold spot seemed to linger in the air. Suddenly, they heard ghostly melodies, and if you looked closely, you could see a ghostly figure sitting behind the piano, scaring the boys out of their wits. Overwhelmed with fear, the boys instinctively fled the building. The flickering candlelight revealed the silhouette of a figure, whose fingers danced over the keys, echoing through the abandoned chapel. The boys thought they were alone, so the idea that something or someone was present in the deserted chapel playing the piano sent shivers down their spines. Have you ever felt that unsettling sensation that you're being watched? That inexplicable feeling that someone's nearby, but you can't see them? In this video, an eerie moment was unintentionally captured. A shadowy black figure pacing back and forth inside the garden fence. This moment was recorded by the backyard security camera. Although the mysterious entity never seems to enter the house, its constant pacing sends chills down the spine of anyone who watches. According to the footage, this creepy sensation isn't just a figment of imagination, but an indication that something indeed lurks in the shadows. Whispers of the supernatural suggest that this is undoubtedly a demon, a malevolent force from the darkest corners of the spiritual realm. How and why this demon has focused its attention on this particular backyard remains a mystery. On May 16, 2023, during J-Rob's livestream, an inexplicable moment unfolded, sending chills down the spines of everyone involved. The boys were deeply engaged in a discussion about basketball when their conversation was abruptly interrupted. In the background, we can see a ghostly intruder, and what makes this encounter convincing are the genuine reactions of those present. A striking moment occurred when the boy, seemingly startled, instinctively looked both ways after the entity passed behind him. It was as if he could feel the presence of someone walking behind him, even though he couldn't see them. His reaction, captured on the livestream, clearly shows his surprise and the unmistakable sensation he experienced during this encounter. Moreover, this was the first time he had experienced something paranormal, making his reaction all the more authentic and compelling. Capturing such an event on camera suggests that the entity in question possesses a powerful and strong energy. No matter how well prepared you are when you're ghost hunting, when you actually find something scary, your first instinct will always be to run away. This group was exploring a harbor when they stumbled upon a sight that would make any sensible person flee. What they saw resembled a skeleton or an SCP monster. Looking at urban legends, this isn't the first time a figure like this has appeared. SCP-5572 is a phenomenon in the afterlife where corpses not buried with RIP on their gravestones are reanimated. These reanimated skeletons fight a long-lasting war for control of SCP-5572 against demonic entities. According to some people in the comments, the group captured an SCP monster on camera. Do you believe that, or is this another kind of creature? Everyone's probably had a moment where they were scared, thinking something paranormal was present in their room. The mother in the video had her little girl come to her, telling her that she was scared of movement in the room. The girl was playing in a room that functioned as a sewing room, with a machine and several mannequins around. The mannequins were the problem, because although they appeared still, they seemed to be possessed, and were giving off a paranormal energy. Encouraged by her daughter, the mother went to the closet to explore further. Inside the closet was another mannequin, and a quick glance revealed nothing overly alarming. It's when the mother walks away that the open closet door and the energy of the mannequins somehow change. It then moves, sways back and forth, and violently topples over, breaking into several pieces. Bear, the brave and intuitive dog, began exploring a mysterious abandoned house in the middle of nowhere. As he wandered through the rooms, his senses sharpened, making him aware of a presence. Bear's instincts told him that someone was indeed there, and as he ran through the rooms, he seemed to find something hiding under the bed. Jumping and running around, he initially thought the person was on top of the bed, constantly looking upward. When reviewing the footage, it became clear that the bear's true moment of realization came when he finally got a glimpse of the figure's face. Shocked, Bear's reaction was immediate, and he jumped back in surprise. Hastily, he ran to his human companions to alert them, but unfortunately, their subsequent search led them on a wild goose chase. How would this figure manage to hide so quietly and unnoticed under the bed? The presence of the hidden figure revealed a precarious situation, someone either in a very vulnerable state or possibly a great danger. This chilling video was captured on an old mobile phone while two boys were playing with a ball in the yard. To their horror, they noticed a face looking out of the window of a locked room. Intrigued by the paranormal phenomenon, they decided to investigate the room, but there was no trace of anyone inside. The room was also marked as out of use. Regardless of its authenticity, it has a disturbing quality, and according to some people, it resembles a real ghost. The face and eyes, although faint, have a penetrating and menacing fear. The movements are far from human, and it seems as if the figure is aware that it's being watched and slowly retreats. Some speculate that this footage could be the evidence of a djinn, an invisible being capable of taking any form. At one point, the camera glitches, adding to the mystery, and the ghost's movements only reinforce the idea that it may not be from our world. When riding motorcycles, it's possible to have a passenger, known as a pillion rider. But the phenomenon of a secondary passenger on a motorcycle, such as the presence of a ghostly or supernatural entity, takes this to a whole new level. Uploaded to Instagram, this video quickly went viral with millions of views. The footage shows a motorcyclist embarking on an adventurous ride through the bustling streets of Delhi, India. But what happens next is quite creepy. Did you see it? No? Take another look. As the helmet cam footage is carefully examined, a shadowy figure seems to emerge, seemingly an extra passenger riding along. The terrifying twist? The rider is completely alone and unaware. Now the question arises, is this just a trick of perspective, or are we witnessing something truly supernatural? Could the ghost be someone the rider knew, or is it just a paranormal passenger haunting the highway? What do you think? A group of friends gathered at a friend's house for a dance rehearsal in preparation for an upcoming performance. They decided to document their progress and record a group dance routine. However, just a few hours later, something strange happened while they were playing a game in the room, and their friends were startled. It began with a loud banging sound, followed by the sudden opening of a closet door. This unexplained event caused everyone in the room to panic and flee. Strangely, the girls recognized the sound and realized it was the same crystal cube that had fallen earlier. This was particularly confusing because the cube had been securely placed on a shelf and had never fallen before. The significant distance from the shelf to where it landed on the floor suggested that it had been thrown by someone or something. The strangeness didn't stop there. As the friends tried to make sense of what just happened, a ceiling light began to sway on its own. Unexpectedly, a door on a nearby shelf popped open. In the heart of the dense forest, a man embarked on a brave exploration, seeking the unknown. As he made his way down the winding path, he discovered you should never wander into the woods at night. In the distance, a figure appeared, with pale skin watching him. When the man saw it, he freaked out and started running. But the question remains, what did he capture on camera? Some think it was a vampire, a drifter, or a ghost. What makes this even stranger is that it was the last time this person ever uploaded a YouTube video. What happened to him? The footage ends abruptly, and we don't know what happened next. It's a testament to mixed emotions. First, calmness, suddenly interrupted by a pale figure shrouded in a creepy aura. In November 2023, a night shift janitor working at a haunted school had a terrifying encounter with a ghost that left him utterly frightened. Compelled to share his paranormal experiences, he decided to document them. While performing his duties, he experienced something unsettling as he walked down the hallway and explained that the school bus was built on a burial ground. Theories suggest that buildings constructed on sacred burial sites can disturb spirits, leading to increased paranormal activity. Previous janitors who worked at the school had tried to warn him about the strange occurrences that happened every night. On that fateful night, the janitor was tasked with cleaning up after the student party. While tidying up a classroom, he had a creepy encounter with a balloon that inexplicably followed him, leaving him visibly shaken. As he walked back, he suddenly noticed a creepy shadow figure lurking in the distance. Was this a manifestation of multiple spirits trying to warn him or leave? Or was it just a mischievous ghost playing tricks? If you didn't believe something strange was happening in your house, this might convince you to pack your bags real quick. When this man walked into his living room, his eyes fell on a small, shadowy figure sitting on the chair. With a mix of suspense and curiosity, he stared at the extraordinary sight. The figure appeared almost tangible, an eerie presence with no explanation, resembling a shadow person. In a soft voice, he cautiously greeted it. Meanwhile, an intense feeling of dread grew inside him, and without thinking, he begged the figure to stay where it was, not wanting it to come closer to crawl toward him. Suddenly, as if responding to his plea, the mysterious black figure rose from the chair, and in an instant, vanished into the air. The family dog sensed the unease and started barking. Its instincts detected an invisible presence that escaped human perception. Have you ever encountered something scary? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos we've made, click one on the screen or take a look at the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.